I'm Bob Spinozzi, and welcome to Small Town. The kitchen is the heart of a home for most people. In fact, no other room in a house gets as much use as the kitchen. Now, the way the typical home is used has changed over the years. As recently as 25 years ago, kitchens served a much different function than they do today. The main difference is the versatility. For many of us, they've become almost a multi-purpose room while also setting the tone for the entire house. The theme for today's show centers around kitchen remodeling. Now, for most folks, the kitchen is typically the heart of their home. And with today's newer products, features, and designs, remodeling will give a kitchen a fresh, updated look and also earn a sizable return on investment. Littleton has two top-notch kitchen remodeling businesses, and we're going to visit both of them. Barbara McRae joins me tonight, and a little later, we're going to meet up with Barbara at Wayside Kitchens and her visit with owners Jim and Mary Regan. But first, we're going down to Littleton Depot and catch up with Kevin and Kate Connolly, owners of Homestead Kitchens. Kevin, thank you very much for having us here today.
Thanks for coming.
Now, you started out coming from two different backgrounds, and you've started this incredible business. Tell us all about it.
We did, Bob. We actually, I'm a general contractor by trade. I went to a vocational school, and I started working for myself right after I got out of school almost 25 years ago. I got into doing kitchens and then eventually high-end kitchen renovation. Which is actually where I met my wife, Kate, working down in Wellesley, Weston, Massachusetts. Kate worked for a kitchen design place down there.
Yep, and when I was out of high school, I went to college for interior design, and the first job I got out of college was with a kitchen design company, and ever since then I've been doing kitchen design, and as Kevin mentioned, that's how we met.
So the kitchen design company that you worked for was in Wellesley?
Yes.
So you were in fact getting customers who were looking to redo their kitchens.
Correct.
And you would enter into this as a contractor.
Correct.
Basically.
And installing the kit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
So anyway, you made your way to Littleton.
We did.
Tell us about that journey.
We did. We'd worked together for a while, the different aspects of the business, and we decided that driving, farther south was too much for us, and we live locally, so we decided to open up our own showroom, and that was about 10 years ago, and we've been really happy here in Littleton. It's been very successful. We have great clientele and following, and we're very fortunate to have the work that we do around here. So it's a really nice environment to work in.
Yeah, and this building is fantastic. It's a 1904 farmhouse, I believe.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of different examples of.
We really liked the idea that it wasn't kind of a strip mall. It was an actual house that was converted, and the displays we have really feel like they're an actual kitchen environment, not a strip mall where you have some little vignettes on the walls. We have 5 or 6 rooms that are feel like real working kitchens. This one, actually, and that one are both working kitchens. So it's a nice feel to be in an actual house environment versus being in more of a store environment.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you have a remodeling process, and it's described very well in your website.
Sure.
Why don't you tell the viewers about your process?
Yeah, we start with a client. Most of our work we do through referral. So typically a client will give out our name, or they'll find us one way or another, and then they'll come to us. The process starts with Kate and our other designer. She can probably tell you a little bit about the design part of it, and then where we go from there.
Yeah. When clients, usually we have them first come into the showroom, and we have them bring some dimensions of their space. And we'll talk about what they like about their existing layout, what they don't like, what they'd like to change, and we'll also look at different cabinet colors and finishes. So we talk both about function and the look and feel of the space. We'll work on some drawings and pricing, and then Kevin would jump in and kind of do his part of the initial kind of planning phase.
Yeah, well, ideally we want to give the client a pretty good idea of what the total budget's going to be. We do most of our work is kind of the mid to higher end for around here. We do almost exclusively custom cabinetry, so we want to give the client a pretty good idea of what they're looking at, soup to nuts, when it's all said and done. And part of our process is, because the kitchen's such a used space, we like the people to have a really good feel when it's done, and we want to know how they're going to use it in their family and how they entertain. So the design process is big, and once we get to kind of a good design that they want to work with, then I would go out to the job and I would look at kind of what it takes to make that work in their house, the remodeling part of the process. I have 3 carpenters that work for me directly along with myself. One guy has been with me for like 20 years, and he's just my main guy in the field. So we kind of take it from what's on the paper to how we get that into the actual space and making that all work together. And it's worked really well, because having worked in this environment for a long time, I've always seen the problem with a kitchen design place that then hands it off to a subcontractor, and good luck, hopefully
a little bit of a disconnect almost between the planning and the
because of our separate backgrounds, it definitely merges everything together. We feel very well. Most of our clients have been very happy with the way we've been able to kind of bring that all together.
Yeah, and obviously, heck, just about all this is predicated on cost. I mean, if I were coming to you and I said, I have X amount of dollars, Kate, and my house is 16 years old. Through the years, we've replaced many things. The cabinets, oddly, are the original ones. We have replaced the knobs once.
Sure.
But you might come in and say, Bob, for the money that you want to spend, this is what I recommend. Place this, this, and this.
Right. It's funny because a lot of times we don't get the initial budget from the client. I mean, we would get.
It'll work the other way.
Yeah.
Typically.
Typically it will. I mean, we can give clients some general guidelines as far as different budgets that we can work within with the products that we carry. And occasionally we will have a client that will say that, this is what we're looking to spend. A lot of times people haven't bought a kitchen before. It's not like when you go to buy a car, you generally have a sense of how much different types of cars cost. So we do have to educate people a little bit on the cost and what the differences are with that.
I think because so much of our work comes through referral, most people have probably talked to whoever referred them and have some idea of what the total budgets are. Now, again, every kitchen is different, because depending upon the accessories and how many things are involved is obviously going to change the cost. But in most cases, I think people have some idea of where they're going. But that's kind of why we want to give them that kind of initial, this is what we're talking about, and we can certainly, add and subtract and adjust things. But people like to have some idea of what that is.
Okay, and I understand you've done some traveling as well. You're not just confined to metropolitan Boston. You've been to other states as well.
To Killington, Vermont. We've done kitchens. Winnipesaukee, we've had a client, probably one of our best clients, has done a couple kitchens locally with us. She also has a house up on Winnipesaukee that we did our house up there. We have a client who lives in Harvard who has a property on Martha's Vineyard that we were out there last year doing a kitchen out there. So again, it's referral work, and it's people that know us and know our business, and they're willing to take us there to do it, because they know and they trust us.
Okay. I want to talk about trends a little bit. And last night I was trying to think of a couple of interesting things that we might talk about, and my 2 friends here, Barbara and Bill, remember this whole scenario. I was thinking about how the colors of appliances have changed through the decades.
Actually, to that.
White also has always been traditional, but I remember a powder blue in the 50s.
Yeah.
I remember a green in the 60s. I remember a harvest gold in the 70s. Then beige came in, then black came in, and then stainless steel came in.
Yeah.
And you were telling me that some of these are coming back into vogue?
Vintage. And they charge more for them, and they call them vintage. But probably not so much of the powder blue or the
generally
gold.
it's still stainless, but it follows the same with cabinet color and countertop color. Probably 10 years ago, most of what we did was a cherry similar to this island that we're sitting at, and now probably the last 5 or so years we've done quite a bit of white painted cabinetry.
It seems like for me, it seems like it wasn't that long ago, but it's been a long time now since granite came into vogue and kitchen islands, basically.
Sure.
But let's talk about some of the trends today. In fact, can you show me some?
Sure.
Okay, just walking around here, I'm seeing some things that I really have not seen before. So why don't you talk about them a little bit?
Sure. One of the trends that we've been seeing a lot over the last few years is more of an open concept floor plan. So people are taking down walls and opening their kitchen up into the family room or dining room. And because of that, they are wanting their kitchens to look a little more like furniture and a little less just focusing on the function. So we're doing things like this where the hood enclosure for the cooktop is surrounded by something decorative and pretty to look at, but inside of it is something very functional as far as pulling up steam and things like that. Another piece, for instance, in this room is the hutch over there that can be used to store dishes, or we've even done it as a hidden message center, which we do have another example of. We can walk over to in a minute if you'd like.
Sure.
I think mixing and matching the finishes is something we do quite a bit now too. We'll have a white kitchen with a cherry island like this, or a different color painted pieces, and again it kind of creates that furniture feel that a lot of people are kind of moving toward.
Okay, and as I had mentioned in my introduction, what we're really doing is we're integrating the kitchen with another part of the house.
Yeah.
Correct.
It used to be you went in the kitchen and you kind of did your thing and you went back.
Food preparation, eating, and
Now it's everybody's in the
Right.
kitchen, almost all the time, other than when they're
Yeah.
sleeping. So it's a big part of the house.
okay, I'm looking for more now.
All right.
So Bob, these cabinet companies are always kind of seeking the newest, latest, and greatest things. This is one of our newer displays. It has a unique closure system. There's actually opposing earth magnets. So there's an earth magnet in the rail and an earth magnet in the door. These happen to be 1-inch doors, which is a really sturdy, heavy construction. Part of it's the look of the cabinet. But when you close the door, those earth magnets resist each other, and then they hold the door closed without any actual physical catch. So you don't see a catch inside the door. Both companies we carry are always kind of on the seeking the latest trends, the greatest things. And it's hard actually keeping up with the displays because they change things every year, so we're constantly trying to make sure that we have the latest stuff. But some of the things they've done are very innovative in the field.
Okay.
Another trend, Bob, is integrating different things into the kitchen other than just preparing food, such as this hutch here, which you can close the doors and hide all the clutter. And then rather than a traditional sit-down kitchen with everything so wireless, we've got something like this where you can charge your laptop, unplug it, sit down on the island and use it to check emails. We've also got a little file drawer for all of the bills and things, and little message center, just to keep everybody organized.
Do you have any final thoughts?
There's an interesting kind of trend that we've seen going on as far as I guess if you want to call it the advertising, but we'll call it social media for business. There's a website called Houzz, HOUZZ.com, and they're kind of like an online magazine for the architectural contracting, design industry, and basically what it does is it allows professionals to put photography and ideas that they have kind of out in the media, and then you as a homeowner, you can go in and kind of create a scrapbook of things that you like and pick and choose. And we've actually got a little bit of a presence on it in the past 6 months or so, and we've actually got quite a few leads from it. I think there's currently about 1.6 million professionals across the country who put their projects up on the website, and then clients can go back on and do reviews of the companies they used. I think currently we're the 4th most reviewed professional on Houzz, which was really because of our great client following. We sent out an invitation if people wanted to review our work, and we had such a great response from our clients. It put us right up at the top. So we were very kind of humbled by that, because it really made us feel like the work that we've done kind of has not only paid the bills, but it's also kind of come in and with a little bit of a thank you. So, but it's a really neat website. We've had a bunch of clients come in. It helps them to bring their ideas that they have, and they can sit home at night and kind of collect those ideas and then bring them to us and say, hey, this is kind of my style. This is what I'm looking for, and then we can kind of take that and run with it for their space. But it's been really neat, and like I said, we just can't say enough about our great clientele we have around here. It's really, we've been fortunate for the clients that we've gotten.
Okay, and this tour has been really neat for all of us, so thank both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm glad to have you.
There's a lot to choose from at Homestead Kitchens, located at 19 Taylor Street. By the way, Kevin and Kate's website, homesteadkitchens.net. Now, you talk about a wild coincidence. Homestead Kitchens is located within a stone's throw from the Depot area post office. Well, our next stop is across the street from our main post office. So let's go to 448 King Street, home of Wayside Kitchens, and that's where we'll find owners Jim and Mary Regan with Barbara McRae.
We just left Bob at Homestead Kitchens, and now we're with Mary and Jim Regan at Wayside Kitchens on King Street in Littleton. And this is a place where they can turn your kitchen into a beautiful show place. So I want to talk to Mary and Jim and see what's going on over here lately. So hi.
Hi, how are you?
Welcome. Well, welcome to the show, and we have a few things that we want to talk about. I love this kitchen.
Oh, thank
and
you.
first of all, I have to say something personal. I am a person who does not like to cook.
Uh-oh.
So I would rather build a kitchen for someone than to
Okay.
cook in it.
Okay.
So this would have been terrific for me. I mean, you know, having a place that designed kitchens. But anyway, yeah, I do love to have a beautiful kitchen, and I love aprons.
Oh, great, great.
But anyway, you people are the ones that can design these beautiful kitchens. And so tell me, when did you start and what made you decide to do this kind of work?
We started in 2002. We formed a corporation and ran the business from our home. Jim was doing installation work for other kitchen places. And way back, to start off with our history, I'm an interior designer. I graduated in 1994 back in Colorado, and that's where Jim and I met. And so he was a carpenter, and we thought after we met that it was a match made in heaven. That I happened to be working at a kitchen showroom, and I was doing kitchens back then, and the rest is history.
So you have custom kitchens, custom cabinets. Do you build these cabinets? You have them built? How do you do this?
We actually have some lines that we sell. We don't actually build them, but we do have lines that we sell, and I am the guy that installs the kitchens. So I love doing that work, and Mary loves doing her work, and I think we make a great team.
Terrific.
Yeah.
So, well, you just don't do kitchens though, right?
We
No,
do
we-
bathrooms too.
You do bathrooms and media rooms?
We do media centers, we do home office, anywhere that storage is required, we can accommodate that. Even bedrooms, we can build a nice platform bed
Oh, okay.
with drawer storage underneath, yeah.
And do you design them? I mean, I know that you're doing the storage in the cabinets, but do you go in and say, I believe that this would be a perfect spot for this
Yes, I do.
cabinet that we have? And
I make suggestions, and keep in mind, you know, people's taste and what their needs and requirements are, and then I, you know, come back with something that I think is going to work for them.
Well, I feel comfortable in this kitchen.
Thank
I wouldn't mind just bringing this home.
Quite a few people have done that in
Yeah.
the past, you know, they're like,
Well,
I just love the space, you know, do the same thing in my house, and it works. They even
We got
have the
one
same
couple.
counters. Go ahead.
sorry. We actually had one couple come in, and he sat down and he said, "This is what I want." And,
Really?
Yeah. And he just fell in love with this whole kitchen, and we ended up doing his for him. So.
Terrific. Does that happen very often?
Quite a few times I've had,
Well, Tish too. There's another customer that we
yeah,
have.
yeah. Well, we have had probably a dozen, I mean, half a dozen people who have said, yeah, we like the space, so we just hope not all of our kitchens look the same.
Right, right. And you do have other, like we've seen some renderings of kitchens that you have done, and we'd like to show those to everyone too, because
awesome.
this is what would you call this style kitchen? Do you have
This is country.
a
like
country?
a really-
And what are some others? I saw one out there that looked very modern.
Yes. Yes. It's just to show like that we can work with different styles, especially in an old house like this and in the area where we are. People from the city, you know, they might be concerned about whether we can or not accommodate their taste when it comes to using a little more contemporary finishes. So I know it's taking a little bit of a risk in Littleton, you know, but it's attractive, you know, it's not totally out there, but we can certainly accommodate contemporary design as well.
How did you end up in Littleton?
Well, Jim is from Stoneham, Mass. And,
I was raised in Stoneham. And,
Went to school in Colorado? Or just you were just in Colorado?
I actually moved to Colorado in 1981.
Oh, okay.
And I thought I was going to stay there like a year or two, and I ended up staying about 18 years.
Yeah.
That's where I met Mary.
And I moved to Colorado and lived there for 10 years and with my family. And then, but Jim wanted to come back to Massachusetts. That was one of the things he told me he wanted to do. So I said, well, if we're going to start a business, why not do it out where you are? So we moved. And then in 2008, the opportunity opened up for us to open the showroom here. We lived right down the street, so it was a great opportunity, and we took the chance. Now we're in the process of purchasing the building as well too, so it's really exciting.
Good.
And friends of ours tell us that if we can survive the economy and everything, and since 2008. That we must be doing something right.
You must be doing something right, that's for sure. And coming back to Massachusetts, that was a good thing for us.
No, thank you.
Yeah. And so we're going to take a little look at some other kitchens that you have here.
Okay.
And show everybody what you can do, because it's really some beautiful things.
Oh,
so let's take a little walk and see what we have over in the other rooms.
So this is the front of our showroom, and we like to give our clients many options of finishes and wood species and door styles to look at. This one happens to be a baking center. I did the display with multi-levels so that it can show that it is easier to roll the cookie dough and make the cookies with the lower height on the counter. Again, we like to show in our showroom just the many different features and options for cabinets. This one happens to be from one of our custom line suppliers, and it's a cooktop and a hood system, and it's in a dove white. I think very attractive, and just to give people the many options that they have when they work with someone like us. Now this particular cabinet line here we're very excited about. It's called Elmwood Kitchens, and it is from Canada. Elmwood Kitchens is very innovative. They go to Europe, to Italy, to the home shows out there, and every year they come back and they throw something new at us, which is kind of exciting. And one of the features that they offer is all these inserts that you can put inside cabinets so that it's ergonomically correct for people. It makes your life easier. Barbara here is going to demonstrate how these cabinets work. So Barbara, you're going to pretend that you have dirty hands and you're going to operate that drawer. Let's pretend it's a trash cabinet.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Okay.
All right.
And the same thing with the upper cabinets. Let's say you want to have easy, tap it a little harder. No, there you go.
Hello.
Now you close that, and then you can try the other one.
Push on this.
Push on that, yeah. A little stronger. There you go. There you go. It's just, those are accessories and items that you can add to cabinets just to make your life easier. And as we age,
easy is that?
that is pretty easy. So one of the great things that we do is we offer a lot of choices when it comes to countertops for people. Our granite countertop supplier built this island countertop for us. And what is neat about it is that not only did they put a great counter on it, great granite, they gave us different edge profiles all around the island so that I don't have to have an ugly piece of granite with different edges. And I thought that was very creative on their part. It makes my life easy. It makes it easy for my clients because they can see it right here. They can start making decisions as far as countertops and what they want to have. My supplier also is great. They supply all the different countertops materials like quartz, they do soapstone, granite, marble, you name it, they do it.
Well, that was a really great tour, and I enjoyed all the kitchens that I saw.
Thank you.
But what I'd like you to do now is give us your website, your address, your phone number, where people can reach you.
Okay. We can be found at www.waysidekitchens.com. Our address is 448 King Street, Littleton, Mass. And our phone number is 978-800-1711. And we can be found on house.com. We can also be found on Pinterest. And people can become our fans and like us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page as well.
Well, that's great. So thank you so much for showing us around. I enjoyed it.
You're welcome.
And, hope to see you again very soon. And right now, I think we'll go see where Bob is.
Barbara, I'm back here at the studio watching you, Mary, and Jim on the monitor. That was a great piece. Wayside Kitchens, 448 King Street. Now, to remodel your kitchen, it's a very, very tempting thought, isn't it? And we learned a lot today. And one of them is that there are options available to fit into your budget. Well, we've run out of time. I hope we've given you some food for thought. And I'll see you next time.